All right, here we are. Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. This is Anabolic Academy. And Lee Priest will be joining us shortly. He's just running a little late. He said he'll be on in about 5 minutes. So don't worry, he is coming on. So Anabolic Academy, you ask me questions. I answer them. Today, me and Lee Priest will be answering them. How can you message me? Serious and Silliness Instagram, John Livia Facebook, John Livia TikTok, John_Livia at Yahoo. Also, Uncle John 1201 at Gmail. They are all in the description for you to send me questions for next time. Now, sponsors, quickly run them out. Beer League Warriors Supply, okay? Sorry, Beer League Warriors Apparel. This is one of the shirts. This is like one of those stretchy, dry fit fabrics. They have a lot of pretty cool stuff. Go on there. The link is in the description, of course, beerleaguewarriors.com. On Instagram, it's Beer League Warriors Apparel. Next one, Navoxidil. If you're going bald, male pattern baldness, whatever, supposedly this stuff really works. Discount code JOHN. Go to Navoxidil.com. It's also in the description area. I don't want to use it. I'm kind of very comfortable with my bald look, but we'll see. I've been thinking about it. My wife has been saying I should try to use it, but I don't know. We'll see. The other one, Jersey Alternative Medicine. Go and check it out. Anti-aging, hormone replacement. They look through like a doctor, guided by a physician. Go and check it out. You don't even have to go into the office. The number is actually, let's see. It's the website is njaltmeds.com. And then if you want to give them a call, NJALTS meds, the number is, come on, where are you? I'm sorry, guys. I want to give you the number, and I'm just stupid at this stuff, really. All right, it's, what the hell is it? 609. Help me out here. Give me a second. God damn it. I'm going to look it up real fast and not be an idiot. Jersey Alternative Medicine. There it is. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Got it. Here we go. The website looks like that. Okay. You'll actually be able to see it. Here we go. 609-888-6481. 609-888-6481. Nationwide, anywhere in the country. Okay. Now, again, one more thing, guys. One more thing. All my European friends that are watching this, all my European friends, all my Middle Eastern friends, Indian friends. I mean, you can basically order this stuff from anywhere, but primarily Europe, because these guys are stationed in Germany. American subs. I'm not making any money off of this. We kind of did a collaboration, and I actually really do like the products. Go to American Subs. The link is in the description. It's also in the Instagram American Subs. And put in discount code SAS10 to get you 10% off. Really good stuff. It's like American branded, Donald Trump type of products, and everything is around like the United States and so on and so forth. Really good marketing and so on and so forth. Go check it out. American Subs. SAS10 discount code. Big Lee Priest.
SAS10 discount code. American Subs. You're going to love it. It's like get the SAS Subs.
Everybody's doing the Trump dance, man. Love it.
That's just a white man dance, isn't it?
Yeah.
The overbite.
I got one liberal in my family, and I called my sister-in-law, and
every family has the one retard. It's okay.
yeah, absolutely. Oh shit! So I said I'm going to do the Trump dance in front of her, play YMCA just to piss her off on
Get your MAGA hat on, your Trump shirt.
So what'd you think of that fight, man?
Oh, we all got played there. That was the most scripted thing. The Roy Jones Jr. fight had more action than that fight. Well, thank God for the women before it and those two guys before that. If it wasn't for those fights,
I know,
unbelievable. But the Tyson one, he was hitting his training partner harder. And come on, it's like, did you see that thing that came out of the script as well when they said round one? The guy was reading
Yeah,
off the
I don't know how true that is, but it was horrible. No matter which way you look at it, it's just,
for the whole thing. I'm thinking, okay, he's just toying. Even the last round, I'm thinking he's going to just because if someone told me that in the contract though, he only got paid if it had to go past these rounds.
But I don't know.
But even if it was, they said, you know what, Tyson being Tyson, if he signed the contract, it says if you don't go to round 5, you don't get paid. Round 1, he should have just came out, bang, knocked him out, and went, mic drop, fuck your money.
Yeah. He got 20 mil for that, and Jake Paul got 40 mil. God damn, I don't know. Sooner or later, Jake Paul's got to fight somebody decent in order to.
That's what it's about, the money. Because even at the end, when they asked about Canelo, he goes, "I don't need Canelo. Canelo needs me. If he wants the money, come see the money man." So he's about money. He's not about real. Even though he can fight, okay, he's not about fighting, which is sad because to me, it's almost like making a mockery of fighting. And you get the true fighters who, like me, when I was 12, I started bodybuilding and lifting weights. So you get these guys like Manny Pacquiao back in the day. He started at what? 7, 8, whatever. So you get these guys who their whole life is nothing but fighting. They live and breathe it. They're never going to get a payday like that. They're never going to get that type of thing. And I feel sorry for those guys who live and breathe it.
Yeah, absolutely. Those YouTubers that just, bring in the dollars and the guys that are really grinding. 100%. Absolutely. It's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, Lee, so this is Anabolic Academy, right? This is kind of similar to Ask Dave, where people send me questions.
And you think I got to be a little bit serious, do I? It's not serious silliness and idiot.
Yeah, one idiot. No, you never.
This is Bodybuilding Academy and the idiot. Okay.
Yeah. So now
every show I'm on, just add the idiot. That way I can say whatever, and when people get upset, go, "Well, he's a fucking idiot. He told you."
He's a fucking douchebag. I don't know what to tell you.
The guy's a fucking cunt from Australia. What do you expect him to say?
So I got a whole bunch of questions for you.
Oh.
Yeah. So the first question, this is from Fran is the man. Fran is the man.
How is he the man? Is he big? Has he got a big cock? Does he bang good? Give us more details, Fran.
He's the man because he's been sending me questions since my first Anabolic Academy.
Well, he's a good follower then. Thank you for following John.
Into New York City every day. My commute's I leave early enough where it's about 30 to 35 minutes. And
when you get stuck in traffic, it's like what, 2 hours?
Yeah. No, if I leave after 6 o'clock in the morning, it's a solid hour.
Isn't it terrible when you've only got to go the same distance, but it takes 3 times as long? It's
fucking horrible. Yeah. So the first question for Lee is, what was Lee's favorite and least favorite MuscleTech supplement, and what's his thoughts on CellTech?
Shit, and shit. I hated them all. Yeah. The reason I got with MuscleTech was because I was with, was it Twin Lab or no Pro Lab, I think at the time, or it could have been Twin. One of them got brought out and they're going in a different direction, so they cancelled my contract because another company brought them out. So I was in between contracts, and when MuscleTech spoke to me, they're like, "Lee, this isn't when we sign people, so we'll give you only this much. But when renewal comes, we'll increase it, and when you do well, we'll increase it." So I signed for a small amount, and then I did well, and when it come time for actual contracts to be renewed, I said, "Are we going to increase it?" And that, "No, you're going to get the same amount." I said, "But you told me that if I did well and did this," then he says to me, "Do you have that in writing?" I said, "No, you gave me your word. You told me." He goes, "Well, if it's not in writing, it doesn't count. That's what you're getting." I'm like, "Oh, you're going to be like that, are you?" So I had a 3-year deal, and after 8 months, I got out of it. They're like, "We'll take you to court." I said, "You can take me to court. I'm going to say your product's fucking shit on the stand, so I don't care. So do it." And they let me out of the contract, and Dexter's like, "You got out of it? You're crazy. Can you get me out of mine?" I said, "Just go say the product shit."
They kind of revamped. They're back. I don't know if it's the same owners or I see them all over the place now, MuscleTech, but I don't know if it's the same.
Z9 just asked. I was meant to be coming to the UK December, but I think Giles and them's also helping with the tour. And because we just finished the Prague show and that, we just figured there wouldn't be enough time to really promote it. So January will be the kickoff tour in Scotland, going through the UK and Ireland. There'll be like 10 gyms I'll be going to doing seminars, and that'll be in January. So
there you go, Z9.
Start the new year off with Lee Priest, the cunt.
That's right. Did you watch the Cbum show with the Prague Pro?
But people like, he should have won, he shouldn't have won. No, he's classic. It's just
Yeah.
like if Martin had gone in classic, he wouldn't have won because different criteria, people. And
Yes.
for Bumstead to still look, Bumstead looks great, yes, because everyone's still looking at him with classic eyes. As an open bodybuilder, I'm sorry, he's not that good. Put him beside Sampson, Andrew Jack, the poor Dillette, someone of similar height with 50, 60 more pounds of muscle and still good shape and symmetry like an Andrew Jack.
Yeah.
He'll look like crap. But yes, being tall and near a shorter bodybuilder, he looks a bit more impressive. But no, I wasn't impressed. It's like, stay in your own lane, people. But I've said it before, get rid of 212, get rid of the classic, just have open. The money from the classic and the 212 can go to the open. You have over $1 million prize money. And I'm sorry, if you can't get on an open stage and you're not fucking good enough. Back in the day, you knew a guy was a pro because you looked at him and you went, that guy's fucking pro because he's a freak. Now everyone's a fucking pro. The guy serving me at fucking 7-Eleven. Oh, you know I'm a pro. I got my pro in fucking classic and physique. Oh, yes, I'm a pro too. Okay, go eat a donut, you dickhead.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the gym that I go to at Signature in New Jersey that they're like, I got my pro card. And I'm like, no clue who you are. No idea.
You haven't seen it in the title on my Instagram page?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it goes down to. So the next question from Frana's demand was, what does Martin need to improve on his physique to win the Olympia?
What does Martin need to improve? Well, Martin, it's just going to take time. He has everything there. Hey, g'day there. Why aren't you down diving in the water right now?
That's right.
What's it going to take for John to get his pro card? Oh, well,
Dick and ball.
Between you and me. The old saying, to get ahead these days, you got to give it.
The only way I'm doing that is if the pro card comes with 7 zeros at the end of it.
You get your first check with it at the same time.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Martin, what does he have to do to win the Olympia, did they say? Well, nothing, just what he's doing. It's just, you don't win the Olympia overnight. It takes time to get the mature muscle. And if he just keeps going like he's going and he doesn't get any distensions in the stomach and stuff, and he just adds quality muscle with his shape and conditioning, then he's got everything there that he needs to win it. That it's just going to come down to the judges. Because it's like I said before, to me, when you have a Sampson, a Hardy, and a Derek, and a Nick Walker, let's just say all of them are in their best condition.
Mm.
It's hard to say who's Mr. Olympia because every one of them has a different body type, but yet they're all still good. It just comes down to judges' preference, I guess, because you go to car show, I go to car shows. You could have a Lamborghini Aventador, you could have a Ferrari, whatever, and everyone's going to be like, Ferrari, man, Lamborghini's a shit, but yet the Lamborghini's a beautiful car. They're all beautiful cars, but each one of them's different. So it's hard to say the Ferrari's better than the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini's better than the McLaren. It's better than the Bugatti. They're all great. So how can you just pick one when they're,
Yeah, no, exactly. And I agree with you. I think it's just time. I think he's putting on the right amount of muscle in a good time. It's not overnight. It's a good fashion. It's a good time. He's got great symmetry and balance. And he seems to have the formula to come in condition. So I think it's just time and muscle maturity, really. And he has a really good shot of winning because he doesn't have any weak points.
And Chris has retired again, I saw after the show. So.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, if Chris took a year off, that'd be great. Because I like to see Chris take a year off and really not push it to the point. Because, to be an open bodybuilder, you got to put more food in. I know he has issues like problems and that, doesn't he? Like medical type thing. Nothing's too serious, but if you push the envelope, it could become serious. So I'm thinking if you did it smart, maybe, and just tried to add a few more 10 pound or something and see, because the Olympia to me is freaks. The Arnold Classic, Arnold likes that type of body, the Sean Rodens and all that type of stuff, yes. The X-Man, back in the day. So his physique would be more suited to the Arnold. And to me, you put him in the Arnold, that would get so much attention. And that's where I'd see Arnold going, you know what, if Chris does it, we get all this promotion, we're going to get all this money coming in, I'll make it $700, $1 million for prize.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, with the Arnold, it's invitational. You give an invite to the Olympia, why does he get an invite? People are going to be so pissed like they always are. Why did he get a special? But because the Arnold's invite, no one would complain.
No, you're 100% right. And I think you're right. I think if Cbum wanted to, and he took a year off and put, 10 pounds of muscle on, I think he could be a really good open bodybuilder. But right now, nah, in the smaller shows, he might break the top 5. But once he gets to the better shows,
Well, like I said, you get someone like an Andrew Jack or Samson beside him of similar height and that, but 60-pound more muscle, then, Well, to me, it's like when I saw Martin and Chris and Sean Clarita, to me, they all look great because they're all different. If Martin didn't win and Chris did, I wouldn't have had a problem. If Sean Clarita had a won, I wouldn't have had a problem because he looked fantastic all over. He filled out.
Honestly, I thought Clarita looked the best out of all three of them. He looked phenomenal.
Well, if you are judging by bodybuilding standards, the symmetry, the muscle proportions, conditioning, it was on point on all of it. So,
That's right. All right, next question. Wicked Mind, Body, Soul. What's your thoughts on overtraining? I think people overthink overtraining too much.
I do. I'm the same. Look, I know you can get tired sometimes, but generally I found when people are overtrained or tired, that's generally due to not enough rest or sleep, skipping meals and not getting the proper nutrition in. So when that combined with heavy training, you can. But I've always found if you're sleeping well, you're getting your meals in, you're taking some sort of anabolic substance to help your recovery, the body can take a lot of punishment. It takes a lot to overtrain. So if everything else is on point, I find overtraining, you can get a little bit tired, but actual overtraining, to me, it's like I said, somebody just wakes up one day and goes, oh, I'm a bit tired. I must be overtrained. Trust me, I've seen you train at the gym. You're not overtrained, cunt. You haven't done anything.
One of the, correct me if I'm wrong, Lee, and when I used to overtrain, I was so sore for days on end. I wouldn't be ready to train that body part 5, 6, 7 days again. It was way too much. And I think because I've gone through the era where it's like overtraining, killing it, high reps, and then I've gone to the point where it just stimulate, don't annihilate, and then you kind of do a lazy workout. Then you kind of fine tune.
I get to the point too where I'm always sore, but then studies, bro science. Yeah. They reckon anything after 72 hours, the muscle's pretty much recovered as much as it's going to. Yes, it might be sore, but they reckon after 72 hours, you can pretty much go and hit it again. But of course, if it's really sore, you're not going to throw the heavy weight on. You're going to be cautious and that sort of thing. So, but, who knows? That's like when they come out with, you had this much 1 gram of protein, 1.5, 2 grams per. It's like, who really knows? It's like,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I never really had to do that. I always went by eye. But the only time I ever weighed my food was when I competed, and I was obviously never at any of your level or anybody. I was at an NPC level, but honestly, it gets to the point where you could just eye it up and know exactly.
That's what I used to do. In the beginning, when I was young, I did weigh it, and there's nothing more depressing when you put it on the scale and you're like, that's it. Let me just add 1 more green bean or something. Come on.
It's horrible. All right, here's another one from Wicked Mind, Body, Soul. What are good exercises? Calves.
I'm just saying hi to Thomas. What was the end of that? The calves.
Yeah.
I found for calves, for me, the best to stimulate them was high reps.
Me.
Because when you're walking around on your calves all the time, they can take a lot of punishment. So sometimes going super heavy, people just go, they don't even do this. Like if they're doing a calf raise, instead of getting they just go, they got the shoulders going more with the weight. So it's like, I'd rather get the full stretch. And the reason I came to this was I had a friend. He just did body weight, and I used to do it. I'd get on a step at home, do 100 reps, try and do it non-stop. If they really burn bad, just stop and shake them and then keep going. But I'd get to 100, have like a minute break, do another 100, do like 4 sets of that. I could barely walk. It's like, and the reason I did that was I used to go watch my sister do ballet and that, and I watched the male ballet dancers, and all they do is on the ball of their toes. And every one of them had fucking calves like this just from constantly being on the balls of their toes dancing. So I think it get a higher repetitions and stuff, because calves, I think, are very hard to overtrain. Like abs, you can pretty much do them every day, and that's all I do. I'll pick one exercise, might be toe presses, and do 7 sets of that. I never count the reps. I try and get high reps, but I just go until they burn and burn. But like I said, loading it up and people just go, that's it. Like, nah.
Did you ever see somebody get on a calf machine and then try to use it like a leg press?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that is just, and you want to, and you just go, fuck it.
I see guys doing like leg press. Yeah, I saw a guy doing a leg press once. He had 10 plates on for leg press, and he wasn't doing that good. And in between his sets of leg press, he was doing calves. I'm thinking, you really think your calves can do all that weight that you're trying to leg press that you can't do properly? And it just go like this. It's like barely moving at half an inch. I'm like, oh, hero.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But here's a good question from.
Why is there 16 people watching, but no one's commenting apart from Thomas?
I don't know.
There's Z9. Any advice to lose body fat, natty?
There you go.
Why did you say natty? It doesn't make a difference if you're natty, because I was
Keep
natty
going.
for 7
Keep going.
years.
I gotta take a piss.
Okay. Welcome to the Lee Priest Show. Glad that dickhead's gone. Your channel will be cancelled by the time you come back. But the thing is, whether you're natty or on gear, because I used to be natty at some point in my career, and I died exactly the same. The only thing was, I noticed sometimes when I was get ready for contests, cause of the cardio, because I do 2 to 3 hours of cardio plus twice a day training, I found the recovery was a little bit harder being natty. Not recovery as in thing, but you'd get a little bit more tired quicker. But, with no Clen. Well, I never used Clen. I use Clen a little bit. The best way to diet, even like I said, people can use Clen, GH, fat burners. Nothing is going to beat good old hard fashioned work. A good old fashioned clean diet and a good old fashioned cardio and just training hard. Yes, the Clen and all the other substances will help, but trust me, if you're not doing that hard work, you're not going to get in the best shape possible. I had friends that would rely on Clen or rely on growth hormone, and they still looked that little bit watery and soft. The ones that did the hard cardio with a bit of that, then it was different altogether. But even natural guys who do the hard cardio and train hard, you're still going to look good. So don't set your mind that you can't get in shape if you're not taking gear or anything. Welcome to the show, John. Great to have you on the Lee Priest.
I actually got a good question for you, Lee. This was from 14 Leonard. How was the Olympia experience the first time you competed? First time, describe your first Mr. Olympia.
The reason I enjoyed it was because I finally got to see my mother, who I hadn't seen in 5 years. So she come over and she come to watch me at the Olympia. So I was more excited just knowing she was in the audience and me actually doing the Olympia. So, I could have done the Olympia 2 years prior to that, but I got suspended, of course. But, so I was like, 97 was my first one. But I was just happy, like I said, because my mum was there and sort of stuff like that. So, yeah, the actual Olympia itself, because I've been competing with the same guys at the Ironman, the Arnold leading up to it, to me, like the Olympia to me, yes, it's the Mr. Olympia, but I treated every show the same. Any pro show, whether it's the Ironman to San Francisco, I just thought of them all as pro shows. I didn't really think, oh my God, this is the Olympia, the Holy Grail. I just went, because really back then they used to treat you like shit at the Olympia. And that's why I got in trouble once, saying the Arnold was a better show. The Arnold treats you better. Tony Doty in Australia will put on the Arnold in Australia, took much better care of the athletes, the Olympia. And I used to, when I did interviews and that, I'd say, for someone to say this is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding is bullshit. I said, it's the toilet bowl of bodybuilding. We get treated like shit. And Robin Chang at the time didn't like that. And I wasn't allowed to even attend the Olympia or the Expo.
You were like a renegade, bro. You were like a bodybuilding renegade.
I was just telling the truth. And I was one of the athletes who got treated as shit, so I thought I'd be able to say it.
I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but was that because that's what Joe Weider was running?
Not really, because Joe was the figurehead and the name. He really had nothing to do with the contest. It was the IFBB, Wayne DeMilia, or whoever the promoters were for different shows. Joe was just the figurehead. He had pretty much no say in, even though people thought, oh, Joe's got these shows rigged. Like I said, when Wayne told me I didn't have to, when Joe Weider told me, Lee, you don't have to do that show because just do the Olympia. This was my first Olympia. I was going to be the youngest ever to do it. That would have been in 94, so I would have been 22. So it's like, yeah, he goes, don't do it. So I didn't. And then Wayne calls me up, you're suspended. And I'm like, but Joe Weider said I didn't have to do it. He said, just save it for the Olympia. Wayne's like, I run these shows, not fucking Joe Weider. You got a 12-month suspension and a $5,000 fine. So Joe didn't really have anything to do with running the shows.
Oh, that sucks. All right, here's another one from Newman.
Thoughts on Rolf Harris. Hold on. He's got thoughts on Rolf Harris. Now, Rolf Harris was an Australian entertainer. Timey Kangaroo Down, Sport, Timey Kangaroo Down. Sang all these songs, but then found out he's a bit of a kiddie fiddler. So,
Wow, really?
Yeah, so he was a good entertainer. He was a good song singer, but, hey, he's a kiddie fiddler, so you can't really like him. But, hey, if that's his hobby, who am I to judge if that's what brings him?
Yeah. Well, that is way too common with the kid thing, man. That is way too fucking common. I don't get it. A. Newman says, can hard work trump genetics?
Yes, because I have seen guys in bodybuilding who have the best genetics, and because it comes easy, they don't try hard. That's just like, like, when stuff comes easy, you don't really try hard. Whereas somebody who, to me, but like when people say, Dorian, have great genetics, you're still, 6-time Mr. Olympia. He mightn't have had the best shape, but he still had fucking genetics for bodybuilding. So there is that difference too, where people go, well, I'm not that symmetrical, I don't have good genetics. If you can build muscle like Dorian and that, you've got good genetics for bodybuilding. So yes, but hard work will trump it. Like I said, if you've got someone who's genetically gifted and they're lazy, and you've got a guy who might be 95% on the genetic scale, but he gives 110% effort, yes, they can.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again. A great example. Yeah. Branch Warren, Dorian Yates, Johnny Jackson, Kai Green. I mean, you go down the list, and there are guys, then there, like you said, there are guys that are just fucking.
And like I said, I think sometimes when people look at Branch, they go, he hasn't got the best genetics. I think even he might have said to himself, okay, Branch might have had the prettiest physique if you compare it to a Flex Wheeler, but still, as a bodybuilder, he's blessed in the genetic department to build that freaky muscle, that grainy look he had, the vascularity, his strength, and that. So he still had good bodybuilding genetics, but just maybe not the symmetrical genetics, if you want to put it that way. So
yeah. Let's see. What are
the honey red pod cycle? This guy asked me. I can't remember what they were, but I think it was everything, because there was like 8 different drugs on the list. So pretty much everything was on there. That's why I didn't do it.
Oh, here's a good question for you, Lee. This is Lifting Liam. Lee didn't have a workout partner often. How did he still keep the intensity?
You just do. You just train. It's like, see, these sort of things I never thought about. When I went to the gym, I just trained hard. You know what's intense. You know if you're training hard or if you're slacking off, even if you're by yourself. So, and it's one of those things. I think because I've done it for so long, and people ask me those questions, to me it's hard to answer, because to me it's like breathing. Someone goes, how do you breathe? It's like, I don't know, you just breathe. Your body just does it naturally. And that's how when I go to a gym, it just felt natural. I didn't have to think about it. I just went and trained and things happen. So
yeah, I like Dorian's answer to that. Dorian's answer was, I was always motivated. He goes, are you motivated to fuck a hot girl? He goes, no, that's how motivated I was to be in the gym.
Yeah.
It's just inside you, Yeah. I used to see videos. I think it was Road to the Olympia. We used to train with your, I think your ex-wife or something like that, or she was.
Kathy. Yeah. My Olympia meal plan was basic. Morning breakfast would have been oatmeal, an egg white protein shake. Go to the gym. After the gym, steak and rice. A bit later on, chicken and rice. Later in the afternoon, chicken and salad or chicken and vegetables, and maybe another bowl of oatmeal before bed and another chicken meal. So trust me, it's nothing. It's just very basic, people. If you want to get in shape, and not bodybuilding, competing shape, but just so you want to get lean and get your abs out, it just comes down to hard work, cardio, and eating clean food. And we all know what clean food is, just that it tastes very bland, some of it. You can add spices. That's the thing. If you're not getting ready for a show, you can flavor it up a bit so it's not that bad. But I think the thing is that because you've got to eat so much, it's more the cooking and prepping it. That's why it's in the off season, it's so much easier to go, fucking McDonald's drive-through. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we got a question not like that. The question is from Fran is the man. What was Lee's typical food order when he goes to KFC?
In my younger days, it was just a bucket of like 20 pieces, 21 pieces. That was it. I never got any sides or anything. But now I might get 2. I like the original fillet burgers. I get 2 of them and maybe just 6 pieces of original chicken, a little bit of coleslaw for my vegetables. And then it's got vegetables in it, John. Come on. And then I'll get Pepsi Max to keep the calories down, because the calories saved on not having the full Pepsi, I get the chocolate mousse, make up for those calories that I saved on the full strength Pepsi.
Very nice. Very nice. I got a question for you, Lee. And this question is more for my ego than anything else.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Brett Michaels with your headband on.
Yeah. You like? I like the headband thing. Anyway, my wife told me that too when I first started wearing them. You and I are friends now. It's by and far clear that you and I are friends. We get along, so on and so forth. When I first invited you on,
I know, just because we are friends, you know, you don't have to send that many dick pics, okay? Just one every couple of days. not what I'm trying to sleep and my fucking notifications are going 24/7. When it's soft, when it's hard, when you're choking. I'm like, oh Jesus, not John again. Oh, I dread becoming friends with this fella. Now he wants me to go to Vegas in June. What's going to happen? We're going to the marriage chapel or what? Fucking hell.
I'm like the cable guy.
Hello, I know you're in there.
Holy shit.
I'm going now. I'm going. Bye.
Just a second, record straight. You're the only one who sent the dick pic.
Well, you know, but that was it after I abused it. That's different, you know.
Yeah, that's completely different. Yeah. What was it about me that you liked, that you were like, oh, this guy's cool, I'm going to stay friends with him?
I just like the way you are, because I'm pretty in tune with people. I can tell when somebody's fake, because me, I try and align people who are similar to me, who, like I said, that sort of don't give a fuck. Well, when you say don't give a fuck, you do, because you do care about people. But I mean, you just say what's on your mind. You're not going to tiptoe around something. If somebody asks you a question, you answer it. You seem like the type of guy who, like, similar to me, you march to the beat of your own drum. You're not going to lie. You're not going to lie and bullshit someone just so they like you or so you can fit into their group. You're probably like me. It's like, hey, if they don't like what I got to say, fuck them. This is who I am. If they want to like me, they can. If they don't, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So I just find you very similar in that way to me, to just your attitude to life and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's why I think, you know, I can tell that with people the way they are, because when someone's being fake, you know, you can tell, oh no, John, oh no, that's good. Just looking at you now, I tell you.
You definitely have to come to Vegas at the end of the year. So you have to stay.
This is Serious and Silliness coming from Lompoc Jail. We're doing the show live from our cell. We can't tell you how we got here, but
oh shit, that is definitely going to be a good one. Yeah.
Someone just asked me, did I ever cheat on the contest prep? Yes, all the time.
yeah, you think?
Never had a cheat meal either. I had a cheat day, but I only did that once I was in shape. So if I was dieting 16 weeks, around the 10-week mark, I'm sort of getting in shape, then I'll have a cheat meal. I won't do it leading up until the point where I'm actually got the cross styrations and looking pretty lean. And then two people go, I had a cheat meal. Look, me, I'm like, you know what, Lee, you woke up, you went to McDonald's for breakfast, you had a cheat meal, fuck it, you might as well just go for the whole day. But the funny thing is, because you've been eating clean on the diet, when you do have that big cheat meal breakfast and you have all the fats and sugars again, your stomach goes, bleh. So you might not eat for another 4 hours, and then I have another fatty meal, bleh. And by the end of the day, I'm like, even though I ate a lot of food, because it was so high in fats and sugars, I only had like 2,000 calories. When I'm dieting, I have like 3,200. So I'd actually eat more of the clean food when I'm dieting, because the cheat day, like I said, when you have it, it just turns your stomach goes into turmoil when you
yeah, well, there's a difference between, you know, a Pop-Tart and a baked potato.
You have a baked potato and 20 minutes later you're hungry, you have a hot dog and some fries. 2 hours later, you're still
here's a good question, actually. Do you think Ronnie Coleman and Kai Green were really natural when they won their pro cards?
But to me, look, I try and take everybody at their word. I can't see why they would lie. Ronnie was doing the World Championships back then, which was drug tested. So I believe there are people who can be natural. It always comes from the people who I've noticed who, okay, let's just say they don't have the best genetics. They can build muscle. They take a lot of gear to build the little bit they have. Mm-hmm. So if someone can get there naturally without it, in their mind, they're like, well, I had to take all this gear just to look like this. How can he look like that without any gear? You know, it's like, if they can't do it, nobody can. So it's like, you know, it's just, I believe they will.
Because you also saw a massive difference.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like me when I was 19. When I shoot that 19 picture beginning of the year, the 19 at the end of the year when I've taken DECA and put on 20 pounds, you can see my body's changed drastically with 20 pounds of muscle.
I think as I'm old now, DECA is my favorite drug because.
Yeah. And I've never got DECA dick. People go, you ever get DECA dick? I'm like, how much are you taking the fucking get?
DECA is my favorite because as you get older, it like your joints hurt.
I never worked with Neil Hill. Neil Hill once wrote me a diet. I never worked with him for contests, but he goes, Lee, I'll send you a diet just to show you. And I think that training thing he had Flex doing, because I remember he wrote me the diet. wasn't even contest, just like a clean eating diet, just for something to follow in the off season. Because off season, like I said, I was very blasé in the off season. I just ate what I wanted. And I remember showing Flex, and I go, look what I got for breakfast: oatmeal with this and strawberries and blueberries. And it was like very specific too. It was like 15 blueberries. I said to Neil, what happens if I have 16 or 17? Is that going to fuck it? But then Flex Lewis is like, what? I'm going to call him. You got fucking blueberries. He doesn't give me fucking blueberries. And
really? Jesus Christ. Now, obviously, if you're talking to a person that doesn't have your genetics or doesn't have, elite genetics, I would assume that you would tell him not to eat KFC. Am I accurate?
No, but to me, no, I believe, look, anything in moderation is fine. It's like, I wouldn't say KFC as much as I did, but if you're eating pretty good all week and eating sort of clean, having a little KFC once a week or every 2 weeks ain't going to do anything. Because I've all seen it. We've all been guilty of it. When you're dieting for a show, you eat clean. And I have those days where I eat KFC, Chinese, McDonald's, ice cream. And the next day I wake up, I'm 2 kilos. I mean, say about 4 pound, 2 pound lighter, but I look better. It's like people think eating all that food, you're going to turn to fat. Look, you're not going to turn to fat overnight. Even the fluid's just going to go into the muscle. Now, if I did that day after day after day, sure, then I'd start getting fat and put the fluid on. But if you're eating pretty clean, say 95% of the time, having a big fucking freak out, whatever you want, food thing ain't going to bother you at all.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. I don't like telling people not to it's okay to have shitty food once in a while, because then they kind of take that and run with it. They're like, oh, Lee Priest said I could have shitty food, so I'm just going to have an entire pizza today.
They just have it every now and then, not all the time.
Yeah. So please, if you're fat and trying to lose weight and get in the gym, don't take Lee Priest's advice. Just don't. Lee,
like if you're really fat, you're doing the cardio hard, you're training hard, dieting hard, but you do have that one day where you're like, oh, I just want to have something. Do what I used to do sometimes. I'd get my chicken breast and my rice, but I might only get 2 5 pieces from Kentucky and put it with my chicken breast and rice. And it's just like I said, it just gave it that little bit of difference type of thing. But, so that way I'm still eating clean with just that little bit of fattening. Or sometimes I'll just get the chicken breast with the skin on it. You can buy them skinless. So get the bit of the skin on and pan fry it with the skin on. Yes, it's a little bit fatty, but compared to the Kentucky, it's not as bad. So you can just do things like that.
Listen to this. One show that I competed in, this was the show that I did in 2012. One meal, I would eat 6 meals a day. One meal was, you ready for this? Oh God, 4 ounces of chicken breast and a handful of and a handful of nuts. That's what I would eat.
You weren't one of those that so many people would always go, I'm having my almonds. I'm like, why do you eat fucking almonds for? Was it almonds?
No, it was just mixed nuts. It was just nuts.
Oh, so you like a variety of nuts in your mouth. Good to see.
I remember the next trainer was like, that's what you ate? I was like, yeah. He goes, that's what girls eat.
Hey,
I
got a question for you. What do you got if you got 2 nuts on your chest?
What do you got?
Chestnuts.
What
do you got if you got 2 nuts on the wall?
What?
Walnuts.
Wow.
What do you got if you got 2 nuts on your chin?
Chin nuts?
Mouthful of cock.
Just so happens here, I have jokes that I wrote.
Oh my God, he got the jokes. Are they from the dad joke book?
Some of them. I'm going to read you off one. Let's see.
How do you circumcise a homeless man?
How?
Kick your mother in the chin.
Oh. No, I'm not going to do a Jewish joke.
The Winny story. That was 06, I think. I had an injection of Winstrol, and that water-based shit would always sit there and get rid of. One time it just wouldn't disperse, and it got inflamed. I thought, I've got to go to the hospital. So I go to the hospital, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's really red and that. So what they do is they cut it to see if there's any, because you're thinking it's going to be heaps of pus in there because it's so inflamed and hot and hard. They slice it open, and then he gets the scissors, he numbs it, and he sticks the scissors in, he's cutting around to see if he can cut tissue out. They test it, he tests it, he goes, oh, there's no infection, it's just sort of inflamed. And I'm like, well, thanks for the fucking hole in my shoulder and shit like that.
Yeah, really. What doctor did you go to? Dr. Kevorkian? Holy shit. Is it me? I feel like...
I even said to Kathy at the time, I think the cunt's doing this because he's giving me that steroid lecture. I think he's trying to prove a point and be an arsehole here, the way he's doing it. Like, yeah, you bodybuilder take steroids. But while he's telling me that, I can smell a cigarette on his smoke, on his mouth. I mean, I'm like, so how's your lung cancer coming along?
Yeah.
If you want to talk about my liver from the steroids? How's your?
I feel like water-based Winstrol, Winny Depot was a lot more popular in the late 90s, early 2000s than it is now. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I used to use like Winny or Stanozol was pretty much the same. And then I learned because I do it every second day. Like you want to see, I do it every second day, and then I do it every third day. I'm like, I still look good every fourth day. I got there every fourth day doing it, and I still look great because, like I said before, on the bottle it said a horse needs 2 mil per 100 kilos every 2 weeks. I'm like, if a horse needs that, why the fuck am I taking a mil every second day and I'm only like fucking 95 kilos? So I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, now everybody's magic potion is Tren, Masteron, and Halotestin. That seems to be it. I don't hear about a lot of people doing a Winny Depot anymore.
Did I ever pull my lower back? No, I pulled my cock a lot, if that counts.
Give me both.
Touch wood. I've never had major shoulder injuries, but I find if you've lifted long enough and you've lifted heavy, at some point you're going to have little shoulder injuries or niggling things. Hopefully they won't be serious, but you can do a lot of stuff, do like stabilizing type exercise. I know we all think, haven't got time for that, haven't got time, but it does help if you can do stabilizing type muscles over these. And then also I learned, because we always do heavy chest presses, the front delt gets developed, everything, everything's the front delt. So, you always find when people sit sometimes, they'll sit like that because the front delt's being pulled forward. So towards the end of my career, it's too late. I should have done it from the beginning. Whenever I did shoulders, do rear delts first, because generally by the time you've done your presses, your laterals, by the time you get to rear delt, you're like, that's enough. So I found doing rear delts first, you put more into it. It helps pull your shoulder back and gives you more support. And plus it's a good warm up to go into the heavy presses and stuff. So there's a tip.
Well, this guy wants to hear the anal story.
In the shower.
Yeah. If you don't want to tell it, you could just go back and watch this.
Yeah, I think I've told it before on your show, haven't I?
Yeah, just go back and watch the one you came out with.
I was happy as a pig in mud.
I haven't spoke to him.
What's that?
Have you spoke to Greg? I haven't spoke to him. I texted him a couple of times, but I didn't hear from him.
He sent me a message today on Instagram and yeah.
I haven't heard.
I have 2 numbers on WhatsApp too, and sometimes I write the one, then one replies. I'm like, which one does he use the most? So,
I don't know, because I know it's always this girl answering the text. Yeah. Joe, I told
you. Do you write to him on the WhatsApp or in Instagram?
No, I have his regular cell number. I just text him on his phone. Joe Zapata.
Send him my dick pic, and then he'll get back to you.
The one where it looks like a sausage.
When I stole his phone, I put that on as his screensaver, and he didn't know. When his phone lit up, he's like, "What the fuck?"
Did you really? You put it on his. Did you ever like hang out with a guy and did that too, and he really did some shit like that, and he really took it serious? Like, got really fucking pissed off.
What are you doing? You fucking mate? You think I'm gay or something? I'm like, fucking lighten up.
Yeah, right. Did that ever happen? Like,
up, calm down, just suck my dick and relax. Come on.
Yeah. Oh my God, chill out, man.
If I give you a reach around, will you calm down? Come on.
Unbelievable. What about if did you ever train with somebody that you couldn't keep up with? Like a bodybuilder's like, let's go train.
No, I've never trained with anyone I couldn't keep up with. I've trained with some people who are too, what would you say, ego lifting and like the whole come on, just fucking I guess it's a bit embarrassing. Be quiet a bit, be a bit quiet. There's some weight you can fucking handle. So when you're like this and I spot you and I'm struggling and I get it to the top and you go 2 more, I'm like, what the fuck? 2 more? It's like I'm getting the cramp pushing them up. Like,
you ever train with Kamali?
No.
Never trained with Kamali? Because I heard back in the day.
I trained with Platts for a year. That was hard enough.
What did you say?
I trained with Tom Platts for a year. That was good.
Did you really? Wow.
Mr. Intensity. And yes, Ali Jacobs again. I do believe gear was much more potent back in those days because you could use 50 milligrams of pharmaceutical Deca and your pain and all that would go away. You get the veterinary stuff these days and you're still like, it's just not the same. I think the quality was better back then.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're on the dose or what the deal is, but I remember like using sustanon back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was like the knot you would get in your ass, and it was like the Russian sus. It was the cider hose. It came in like a pop out. Remember that?
Yeah. I don't even think remember even the old parabolans or primobolans. I think they're only like the ones you'd break off. Some of them are only like 75 milligrams per mil.
Right. Yeah,
but you took that, you'd fucking get strong. You get everything, and then now you probably got to take 2 mils of it or 3 mils to get the same as you would with only one little amp. So I think back then the quality was much better.
Yeah, I think so too, and I can't really say why. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is, but I remember my first real cycle ever was sus, deca, and Russian D-bol. And the Russian D-bol was like the big white pills. I don't know if you remember that. And I used to get nosebleeds just for, I guess, for my blood pressure being so high. You know, I haven't
once with liquid Dianabol where you squirt it in your mouth. I said to my mate, "Well, how much do I take?" He's like, "I'm not too sure at strength, but just take this much." And I remember I was getting ready for the 06 Pro show. I'm leaning over to Preacher Curl, same thing. Poof, blood everywhere. I'm like,
yeah.
It's all red. It must have been like blood pressure through the roof. But
yeah,
it bled that bad. This was like 2 days before the show. I could just put my head over the sink. It wouldn't stop bleeding. I mean, just like that. I had to go to hospital the night before the show, and they had to cauterize my nose to stop it bleeding.
Yeah. I remember like I was in college and I was working as a waiter, and all of a sudden I was serving food and my nose started bleeding. I had to run into the bathroom. I haven't when I competed back in 2012, 2014, that never happened again. And
it must have been strong because normally when I take Dianabol tabs, I'd only take 20 to 30 milligrams a day, and for some reason for me, the tabs, once I'm on them, I'd put on at least 5 kilos to 6 kilos, like 10 to 12 pounds in 2 weeks. I'd just fill out. I'd get a little bit puffy in the face, but all my muscles would fill out, my traps would come up. But I said I always felt the blood pressure on that, but yet I could take an Anadrol 50, only one, and I never got the same. I sometimes feel if I'm on the Anadrol, normally after the 3rd, 4th week, my appetite would go away a bit, but that's about, yeah.
Yeah, same thing with me with Anadrol. Anytime I would
use make you super strong though, wouldn't it? Your strength would go through the roof.
You know what's funny, Lee, is that I didn't have as good a reaction to Anadrol as everybody else did.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a good reaction to EQ as everybody else did.
I was going to say, it looks like you had a reaction to nothing really, but I didn't want to say anything. Being your friend and all, I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah.
Since you're going there, Jesus Christ, did you have fake gear or what?
Yeah, it was pretty shitty.
John, I would always get you're not coming to Vegas.
You're uninvitedly, but I was what do you call it? I always got a better reaction from D-bol than Anadrol.
Yeah, and I think I still. That's the thing too. I take D-bol before shows, or if I use a little bit of substance. People are like, don't take tests, makes you hold fluid. Don't take this. To me, it's like the only thing that's going to make you hold fluid is the food, because if you're eating clean and stuff like that, and you're dieting well, you're doing your cardio, you're not really going to hold fluid. People go, but D-bol makes you hold fluid. I said, that's because mainly people take D-bol in the off season, and in the off season, they're eating a lot of fucking food. They're eating shit food. They're doing whatever. So, of course, you're going to get puffy and shit. But generally, if you're dieting, none of the drugs are really going to make you hold that much fluid that it's going to make you crazy, you know?
Yeah. Here's a good question. Where would you inject? He wants to know if you injected in your arms.
Never, ever. The only thing at place I did different once was my calves, and it hurt like hell. And then I did my side of my quad once. And I'm like, after I did, I'm like, I can't feel anything. That is good. Next day, fuck, I can't lift my leg. I'm like, oh, for 4 days I was limping. Then my mate tells me, you probably just hit a nerve. That's why. Try the other leg and do it here. I'm like, okay, stupid me. Okay, nothing. Next day, couldn't walk for another 4 days. I'm like, fuck the legs. So now always the shoulders and the glutes, never did the arms. And because to me it was like, what's it really going to do? Because people go side injections. If you side inject, if I was to put like a mil or two of test here, yeah, tomorrow in a couple of days it might be bigger because it's inflamed.
Right.
But look, if side injections worked, let's use this premise. If you put it in the muscle, that muscle is going to grow. Every bodybuilder would have an ass like Kim Kardashian, because majority of guys put the drugs in their ass. The glutes are a muscle. Our asses should be like a fucking baboon or a fucking gorilla.
That's right.
No, side injections do not work. They work temporarily because it will inflame the muscle, but it's not going to make that bicep grow bigger by putting the fucking injection in there. And as for the synfol and shit, to me, if you're going to use that, get out of bodybuilding. If you can't grow muscle naturally, or with a bit of normal steroids, if you're going to put that shit in, It's like, get out, you know?
Yeah. You know what's funny is I agree. I've tried putting in my leg and never liked it. I've never tried my arms, but I always stuck to glutes and shoulders.
Well, I was always worried because I was known for my arms, and I figured, yeah, maybe I could. It would make it bigger. But then let's just say something goes wrong and I put it in the wrong spot. Then I get an infection. I know we've got to cut your arm open and remove half your bicep. I'd be like, all for what? You know, quarter of an inch to look different on stage. So no, that's the main reason why. Look, if they look good now, why fuck with them? You know, because something could go wrong. Hit a nerve and you fuck it up. It's like, no.
Oh, here's a good question. Did you ever try insulin? I never.
No, never in my whole life. Never tried.
What about?
I only did GH twice, 94 and 96. I used 2 IU the first time, 4 IU the second time. But then I was still in my young 20s, so maybe it wasn't enough. But of course, then too, I had the genetics and training hard. The money I spent on it. Let's just put it this way: I didn't notice anything groundbreaking, so I went fuck it. Now I'm 52. Maybe I might use it because just for the rejuvenation purposes now and stuff like that. But back then, I never used insulin, and what I got from the 2 times I used growth, I just went, I'd rather just stick to the D-Bowl, Deca, Sus 250 and stuff like that.
You know what's funny is you hit the nail on the head. I use growth now that I'm 48 years old. And when I was, again, I was never at your level, but when I was younger, I never used growth. But now.
It doesn't look like it's working. Where'd you get it from, Dave Palumbo?
Yeah. No, I got it from this guy named Guzman in Harlem. It was,
From Turkey.
Yeah. Pablo Guzman, he gave it to me. I went uptown.
Guzman and Gomez, the Mexican place.
Yeah, that's where I got it. He said
I get 1 beef burrito and 10 IU a grow. Thank you.
You want to hear one of my jokes?
Okay, give us one of your jokes because you've taken the time to actually write them down. So
okay. Did you hear about the prostitute that got a vagina surgically attached to her hip? She did it for side jobs.
Very funny. Hear about the little girl in the shower with her father, and they're showering, and she's looking around. They're washing each other, and she looks up and goes, "Daddy, what's that thing there?" Dad looks down, thinking, "Oh shit, I got to be polite." That is my penis, Sandra. I'll give her a name, Sandra. Make it personal. Okay. Oh, she goes, "Well, I had to get one of them, Daddy." He goes, "Yeah, in 10 minutes when your mother goes shopping."
Ooh. Nice.
I'm sick.
All right, let me see if I can get it.
That's like the little boy in the shower with the mother. He looks up and goes, "Mummy, what's that?" And the mother, being polite, goes, "That's where your daddy hit me with an axe." And the little boy goes, "Oh, fuck, right in the cunt."
Oh, he got you right in the cunt. Oh, shit. Damn, I have a lot of racist jokes.
This black guy walks into a bar with a parrot on his shoulder. And the barman turned around and goes, "Where did you get that?" The parrot goes, "Africa, fucking millions of them."
Yeah, I have that joke, but I changed it into a rabbi and a frog.
Oh, but how about a rabbi, a black man, an American walk into a bar? The barman turns around and goes, "Is this a fucking joke?"
A rabbi walks into a bar with a frog on his shoulder. The bartender goes, "Wow, that's great. Where'd you get that?" The frog goes, "Brooklyn. They're everywhere."
A Jew.
Yeah, you can't really joke about the Jews on YouTube too much, man. They'll take your YouTube channel away.
Yeah, ask Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh shit. So what you got on the agenda for the rest of the day over in Australia, Lee?
Let's see. I've trained. I've cleaned up all the dog shit in the yard, getting the garbages ready to put out. Took the Humvee down to my mate, and he took the big 4-foot muffler off and just put a pipe and a little hot dog in there. So now it sounds like a tank. So that's good. So yeah. And then what is it now? 1:24. I'll probably go play with the dogs, play with myself. While I'm playing with the dogs, I'd sort of hold mine. I hold the dogs like this at the same time.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, well, you two birds with one
stone. Get the lipstick out, little boy. Get the lipstick out.
Yeah, that's a great color.
You ever remember? I remember when I was young, someone showed me one of those animal videos where a girl was having sex with a pig and blowing a pig and all this stuff.
There was like when the internet first came out, there was like German
Who
Shepherd.
didn't go searching for that stuff? The guy, girl, then a donkey on the back of a gun.
Yeah, there was like crazy shit. There was a German Shepherd banging a chick.
Yeah.
Then there was like a donkey or some shit. And then, of course, there was the most famous one.
The pig with the little curly whirly.
Oh, God. And then there was 2 girls, 1 cup. That one was really famous.
And there's like 2 nuns, 1 cup or something. Was there?
Wow, it's fucking horrible. Yeah.
Come on now. You're just saying that because you're on here secretly. You've got them stored on DVD somewhere.
You know what's funny is I interviewed this porno chick on my other channel last week. And she was talking about the fetish stuff that she does. And I'm just like, I guess I used to think I was freaky, but no, I don't touch I don't get close. It's unbelievable what these things. She told me that there were guys that pay content for her to put like balloons in her bra and to get and just have them fill out while they're fucking jerking off. She just want to see them grow, and they're balloons.
Balloons.
Yeah.
That's not even a fetish. It doesn't even not even a term. Maybe if you put the balloon up a vagina and kept pumping it up, and I could see her getting in pain because the cervix being pushed up into the uterus and stuff, and she's screaming, and there's blood coming out of a hole. I would get turned on by that, but just in the bra, come on. I get turned on if like she was giving me a blowjob. Oh, I'm going to come. Just as I come, I slit her throat, and the blood and jizz just comes out of her neck. Now that would turn me on.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you like it?
I mean, I'm going to try that.
It's give me like a little Pez dispenser with fucking jizz and blood coming out.
Oh man, I bet if we go to Las Vegas together, I'm going to be drunk every
One
second.
of us ain't coming home. One of us is going to be in county. If we go June, let's just say January, February, March, April, May. Around May, we should start a GoFundMe to bail us out of jail, because that's where we're going to end up. So we'll preempt it to get our legal funds ready before we go.
Well, is your wife like responsible like mine is? Because I could just tell her.
No,
you know,
my wife could easily drink a bottle or more of tequila a day and just keep going. So
wow, yeah. No, my wife likes to have a few cocktails too, so they'll get along fine.
Trust me, they'll be the ones getting us in trouble. Trust me.
Yeah.
As bad as we are, they end up being worse in the end.
yeah, that's why I won't let her go by herself. Oh no, you're not going anywhere, bitch. Yeah.
And then they're the ones that start the shit, then we have to step in and we get into the fights because they've started it.
Yeah, did I tell you the story about when I was in Las Vegas with my wife and some guy tried to kiss me?
Oh yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah, he was just wasted, and I pushed him in the
hey, at least he kissed you before he fucked you. Sometimes they don't even do that. So I didn't even get that. I just got a donkey punch in the back of the head, and then before I knew it, I was getting fucking rammed. So at least you got a kiss.
Yeah, he was very nice about it, you know.
Yeah. That's true love. He looked you in the eyes. Did he keep his eyes open while he kissed you? Isn't that freaky? Do you ever, when you're younger, close your eyes, but occasionally you'd open your eyes up and the girl's got her eyes open, and you're like, oh fuck, that's weird looking.
Yeah. No, it got to the point, Lee, where I was just like, if the girl is willing, she can pretty much do whatever she wants.
I'm like that. I'm like, hey, I go with the flow when I'm doing things. It's like, when you're by yourself, you might be like, that's a bit weird. But if you're a little bit fucked up, if you've done a few drinks or you've done a bit of, and you're really into it, at that point, you're like, okay, let's do it. Then the next day, you're like, John, I can't look you in the eyes today, mate. I sort of remember what happened last night.
You know what I'm learning? The guys like you, Arns, whatever other elite bodybuilders that I'm friends with now, Kamali, the women just threw themselves at you. Jesus Christ.
Well, I didn't really have it because I used to get accused of, Lee, when you go away, you must do what? To this day, touch wood, hand on the heart. Never had a one-night stand. I just didn't. To me, it's like, normally when I got with a girl who I liked, I ended up always in a relationship with them. So I never did the one-night stand things and that. So there might be a girl I'd see who I'd sleep with, but it'd be on a regular thing. We might never have dated, but it might have been a on and off type thing for a few months or more. So, yeah, but I never had them. They might have. But when I went to do seminars or a guest appearance, I'd go there. My biggest thing was, because I'm out of town, I love to get to a hotel, room service. You'd have the latest movies on the TV. So once I did my seminar, and I couldn't wait to get back to the hotel, get room service, and just watch the latest movies. I never had any girls come back to my room. And a few promoters are like, okay, Lee, when it's over, do you want to go to the strip clubs? Do you want to go? I said, no, I'm happy to go back to the hotel. They're like, really? I said, yeah. They go, oh, thank God. He goes, last time I had Flex here or Chris here, had to go to the strip club. My wife got mad at me because I was out all night. I said, no, you'll be a good boy tonight. You'll be home early because I just want to go back to the hotel. And I sometimes think, I hope the promoters don't think I'm rude or whatever, but that's just what I like to do. I just like to go back and relax. So even if they ask me to go for dinner, hey, Lee, we can go to this fancy restaurant. I say, can we just eat at the hotel restaurant? That way I can just go straight up to my room. So
yeah, well, that's what
I
happens.
don't need all that fancy stuff or to be pampered. I'm just happy being very basic. Hey, if you want to take me to McDonald's, I'm happy to go there and go back to my room. I don't need the, the whole pamper me, take me around to these fancy places. I just take me to 7-Eleven, give me a Slurpee and a sausage roll.
Well, I think because you were so used to it, like you were famous very young, like normal people, can't relate to that. Like I never had anybody say to me, "Oh, let me take you to dinner."
Yeah, well, that's like yesterday. Oh, yesterday I was just walking. I had to go to the chemist today. I'll get my medications tomorrow. But yeah, I remember I was walking past the chemist yesterday, and the guys, as I'm walking past, he's like this. Are you Lee Priest? I'm like, I used to be. He's like, he's like, really? It's like, even then, and then some of my friends goes, do you find that weird? I said, yeah, I still find it weird today because, like I said, I just see myself as Lee. I'm no different to the guy standing out the front of the chemist. So I'm just like, I'm just a normal person. Wow, I was a pro bodybuilder. Like I said, I've always appreciated if I've inspired someone to get in shape or my stories have helped people. But as far as this, where they put you on a pedestal, like, oh my God, you're Lee Priest. I'm like, hey, I'm just Lee, man. I'm just a fucking idiot. I'm just like a normal person.
Yeah, like, I'm proof of that because you're hanging out with me.
Yeah, exactly. How much lower can I get?
All right, one more question.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Look at me.
Glenn Perlman said, Lee, what show did you were the best look?
Glenn, that's a question I'm not sure on because some people said my last show, The Universe, when I was 42. Some say the 97 Ironman. Some say the 99 Olympia. Some say the 97 Olympia. So I've always just left it up to the people that they can discuss it and fight over it. Because to me, you're never really happy with how you look, I think. No matter, even when you look your best, you still think I could have been here a bit better there. So I've never really... Like when I see those David Paul pictures near the boxing bag, I think I look good there because I'm nice and full and stuff like that. I'm like around 218, 220, but I wouldn't say that could be a good look because I'm not contest shredded, but I'm still nice and full and hard. The calves are ballooning out of the shoes and stuff. So that could be a good look. It doesn't have to be a contest look, I guess. So.
Yeah, I remember those pictures. All right, Lee, listen. Have a good rest.
We're leaving already. You're just going to use me for an hour and get rid of me.
That's it. So, I know. Well, you can come.
Thanks for coming. I haven't even fucking blown yet. You're kicking me out. Going home with blue balls. You can't. Thanks.
Oh, shit.
Next time I'll have to start early before I get on, so I'm ready to.
I can't.
We'll come at the same time. I hope when we come on next time we have a song. Do we have a song yet? What's our song, John?
You made two of them. I haven't played either one of them on here yet.
The two of us, there'll always be just the two of us.
You gotta make a song for Bo.
I will. Lee and John. Serious and the Idiot.
Yeah, you gotta make a song for Bo though, remember?
I'll put in different words. You put in Lee Priest, John, podcast, Serious and Silliness, took gear, doesn't look like it. Stuff like this. And then it'll just, just put a song together.
It'll be fantastic, man. It'll fucking work. All right, brother, listen. Of course, Wednesday, you're welcome, of course, on Muscle Talk with the rest of the guys.
What's Wednesday? Is that my Thursday?
That's your Thursday. Sorry, that's your Thursday. You're right.
Hey, I know. I got to write shit down. I know it is something Thursday, but I don't know what it is. No, tomorrow I got to go.
No big deal. If you can't, you can't.
It's at 12:30 my time Thursday, is it?
Yeah. Okay.
Once I pick the wife up, if I'm here, I'll log on. First, I might just watch you live just to annoy you in the comments section. That's more fun sometimes, just doing that. It's like being on the show, but not. And I can just say shit. And you're just looking at the comments going, oh, fuck, I'm not even going to put that one up. I'm not even going to read it.
All right, Big Lee. I'll talk to you
soon, John.
Later.